Hey everybody, this is Kristi Carter. Welcome to our garden. This is Mike and I's garden. We've had this garden going for about 16 years and we want to show you how things are growing. It's May 1st. It's a fabulous spring. It's been hot today and I want to do the garden tour now because all of our roses just bloomed for the first time all together in like a symphony. Now we are going to be having 80-degree weather in the next week or so, and so that's going to burn up a lot of my roses. So I want to show you our garden right now before they get burned up. So right now, this is our viburnum. It's a viburnum, not tinus, it's a snowball tree, and it's probably about 50 years old. This is so awesome. Look at like snow on the ground here. These things, it looks like a hydrangea, and it would actually be really pretty with a hydrangea in a floral arrangement. But I just love this snowball tree. It reminds me of my grandma. My grandma had one in her backyard in Walnut Creek. So as we go along here, you can see here's our apricot tree. We have artichokes growing here, very Mediterranean. And by the way, you're going to see some of our cats and dogs. They love to go on garden tours as well. We have this beautiful pink pearl rhododendron. It's absolutely fabulous. This is a Japanese maple from my grandma's backyard that's just taken off incredibly well. So well. This is a Persian mulberry over here. And actually, there's these little tiny furry fruits. They're going to be purple in about another month or so, and they're going to taste like boysenberries. They're going to be incredible. We have another mulberry on the other side of the property, which I'll be showing you shortly. So anyway, we have a nice little area back here, nice dogwood over here, a daphne here. I like to grow things that bloom throughout the year. I mean, some plants bloom in winter, some plants bloom in the summer, end of summer, spring. Right now, all the roses are putting on their first blossoms this spring, and they're impeccable. They're beautiful. So come on with me. Here's the lamb's ears, which are two different types. I don't remember which different types they are, but I really like them. This is our Magnolia solangiana. It's the tulip tree, and it has a few of the blossoms. It bloomed beautifully in February. Then we come over here and we start a rose garden. So over here, beneath Jerry the giraffe, actually that's Jerome. Jerry is his son over there on the other side of the property. We have some beautiful old-fashioned roses. This is the David Austin variety. I forgot the regular name for this guy. I think the tag's in there somewhere, but I love the pink. It's gorgeous. We have Sunset, which is an orange climbing rose up there on the fence. And we have the Pat Austin, which is a beautiful rose over here. I love the orange. It's just a gorgeous orange color. We have Gold Medal, which is a tea rose right here underneath Jerome. And I tend to specialize in old-fashioned roses because they're drought tolerant, disease resistant. You don't have to prune them very hard like you do a tea rose. And they just keep getting bigger and better every single year. They're fantastic. So up here we have a grapevine that we planted. It's a muscat grape, actually. Big, beautiful clusters of grapes in like August, July. We have over here this yellow rose. It's called Teasing Georgia, which is a multi-petal rose. It's a really nice old-fashioned rose. It's absolutely gorgeous. Smells wonderful. You can see all those nice, beautiful petals, and these last beautifully in cut flower arrangements. We also have a lot of edible plants in here. This is borage, and borage is an old herb from the Middle East. It symbolizes courage and bravery, and apparently the Grecians used to use it a lot in before they went to war. They used to have borage tinctures and things like that. But I use the blue flowers to float in bowls of soup or in salads. They're fabulous. Also, rose petals are great in salads. They're very, very nice. Come on with me here, and then here we have a moss rose, which is another old-fashioned, unusual rose. And if you can zoom in here, you can see these sepals are really they're really sticky. They're very sticky and kind of hairy. It's called a moss rose because it looks like moss, but then if you pinch your fingers between the sepal and you smell it, it smells like pine. They're amazing. And these are a beautiful, light, beautiful little rose right here. And this rose is a beautiful orange chiffon, old-fashioned guy. And then along here we have the bearded iris. We just planted another moss rose over here. And a good rose supplier is Heritage Roses up in Oregon, Portland, Oregon. Oregon grows great rootstock for roses and really healthy material. This rose here is a tea rose. It was here when this house was built, so this house is about 55 years old, and that has a beautiful, beautiful scent. Behind here on the fence you see a beautiful Thompson seedless grape, and they produce a ton of grapes in July, August. We eat them all the time. They're fabulous. So another neat thing about our garden this year is that we have 3 different types of irises blooming. This yellow guy is a Dutch iris. It's actually a bulb that you can get at Costco, or you can get at a nursery. Plant them in the fall and they come out beautifully. So I like seeing this blooming with the German irises. And then we have the Siberian irises over there, which I'll show you later. And right here we have the Tuscan rose. And look at how perfect this rose is. There's not one blemish on the leaves. It's a really good variety. There's no mildew, there's no black spot. It's just a gorgeous rose, and it blooms 3 times per year. Again, the first roses are the best. You don't see any spent blossoms right now. It's just pristine. And in my garden, I like to have a sense of harmony. So you'll see pockets of the same type of plant planted throughout to kind of give a little sense of order to your design and to your composition of your yard. So again, here I have the Dutch irises. Oh, and by the way, you might be wondering why I have this brace on. Well, it's because I had rotator cuff surgery about 5 weeks ago. And I'm healing fine. It's on this shoulder right here. Everything's going well, but I have to immobilize my arm so I don't mess up the surgery, because they did pins and stuff like that. But I'm going to be fine. I'll have full use of my arm come October. It's a long, slow healing process, but I'm glad I've got it done so I can get back into the tennis court onto the tennis court and fly fishing and gardening and things like that I like to do. So over here we have Gertrude Jekyll rose. This is a very fragrant rose, extremely fragrant. It's from the damask rose family. And I wish we had smell-o-vision here because it smells intoxicating. It's incredible. And it's named after Gertrude Jekyll, who was one of the first popular landscape designers, who was a woman about 150 years ago. Now up here, behind Gertrude Jekyll, is our Grecian Bay laurel tree. And this is the Grecian Bay laurel leaves that you find in the Schillings bottle, herb bottles, and things like that. We have not had to buy bay leaves for 16 years, so it's pretty cool to have this beautiful tree here. And I love to clip off branches and give it away to people. So here is our purple rose corner, and this is just an abundance of purple roses. Unfortunately, the heat's probably going to really burn up these roses in the next couple days because it's going to be so darn hot. So that's why I want to show you these roses right now. They're coming out beautifully. And then over here we have a nice ginkgo tree. We have pomegranate right here. We have 2 pomegranates actually. And this is our rose is called Heaven, which is lovely. And up on the arbor we have Eden. So we have Heaven and Eden here. Here's a nice red rose. And if you look up into this hawthorn tree, you'll see one of our sweet little roses that goes all the way to the top of the hawthorn tree. So when you're in gardens, remember to look up. And I think that's just the sweetest little rose. I absolutely love it. It only blooms 1 time a year, and that's why I want to show you this now. So over here we have Jerry, who's our other giraffe. And the sweet little rose, I think it's called Fairy something, that I meant to put up on the fence. We have a wire for that, but I didn't get to it this year, so it's kind of coming forward towards the giraffe and towards the sun. It's actually etiolating towards the sun. And then right over here we have our big beautiful Fuyu persimmon tree that is loaded with blossoms, and that will probably give us about 200 fruits this year come October. Now we're going to go into the cutting garden, so come this way. In the cutting garden, and right now above this arbor is the rose called Eden. I think you can probably get a good shot from this angle right here. It's a beautiful, prolific climbing rose. It doesn't smell very much. It has a ton of roses every single year. And this is my cutting garden. This is where I grow tulips, dozens of tulips. We have some gladiolas coming up right now. We have some lilies. We have, I think, a few dahlias coming up as well. I think the smells are getting them, so we need to bait those. But I love having a small cutting garden that I can use for cut flowers inside. And then here we have a blood orange tree, which is loaded with oranges. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I love it when you cut into those oranges and it's that beautiful deep red. It's so beautiful. Then next to it we have a Eureka lemon, which is prolific. It's doing so well this year. Over here we have another stand of David Austin roses, which are again the first blossoms for the year. This one is called Graham Thomas. This beautiful yellow, and the smell is amazing. The fragrance is more like tobacco than any other type of rose you've ever smelled. I don't really prefer it, but it's very interesting. Beautiful, prolific rose. Next one is a pink variety, which I think is very sweet, and this smells like almond paste to me. It's very sweet, very lovely. And above these David Austin roses, we have a nice Valencia orange, which is just gorgeous and just loaded with fruit, ready to be picked. And you can see this whole stand of these roses and how the composition is. I wanted to get the yellow roses underneath the oranges because I just thought it'd be kind of a good color composition. Now over here, this is really, really special, you guys. This is called the toot tree. This is a Persian mulberry tree, and these fruits are edible. They're amazing. Look at these fruits over here. In fact, Thor's here because he's picking off some of the lower branches with the fruits on them. He loves these. But see these fruits right here? They're like long berries, and then when they come right off like that, that means that they're ripe. And you put them in your mouth. Oh my God, it's like a sugar cube. It's like a melon sugar cube. It just squirts in your mouth. Fantastic. And the Persians actually have used this tree for hundreds of years, and they dry these little fruits so that they're dry. They put them in their coffee or their tea to sweeten it up because this is like a sugar cube. It's fantastic. So good. Super easy to grow. Drought tolerant. Easy. And then we come over here. And we have our beautiful little Japanese area with some nice miniature mondo grass, and our Japanese maples are called moonbeam. I love the foliage on them. They're very, very sweet. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me on my garden tour today. There's more garden. I'll show you that later on. We have a vegetable garden, but when that's really producing, I'll show you that vegetable garden. And again, thanks for joining me. And for those people who didn't attend our garden party last Saturday, we wish you were here, but we'll have you over again some other time soon. Take care. This is Kristi Carter. Happy gardening.